Right. Good evening, my dear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Day was good.
Yes. Very
Yes.
productive.
Sadie,
You wave.
hello. Do you have cheese? Is that cheese? Oh, yeah. That was the best.
Big fan of cheese.
Nothing wrong with that, Sadie. Me and you go to Horrocks. I'm telling you. Once I get you into finer pieces of cheese, you will never leave Horrocks again, Sadie. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
she needs to up her palate game for sure.
Get her into blue cheese. Oh, all these delicious. Oh, she'd be the first child ever to do that.
Yeah, it took me until adulthood to like blue cheese. That's for sure.
True story. But if you ever need good ones, there's smoked applewood cheddar or something
Ooh,
like that. But
yeah,
you do it over chicken. Oh
yeah,
my God. It's incredible. You just melt it right out. Like once it's
yeah,
cooked,
yeah,
and you just melt that son of like layer it and then just
yeah.
let it. Oh,
Ooh.
ridiculous.
I love smoked
Lucky
cheese.
this weekend made they're crunch wraps that like Taco Bell.
Yeah,
And she makes it. I don't know if she TikTok videoed it, but dang, man, that's like all of us love that thing.
yum.
So, very, very good. Yeah. So yeah. So that is good. Well, tonight will be kind of fun. We're going to talk about feet, knees, and strength. So that's kind of where we're going tonight. Let me
Cool.
get. I got one other thing rolling. Almost forgot about it. But all right, so let's start that. All right, so feet, knees, and strength is our topic for tonight. So our first thing before we get started, I want to do our three things that I found. There was one that's interesting, like like a lot of studies came out this last few months on alcohol, and like low level alcohol consumption is actually good for you, and that's partially true. One of the things is like it's one of those things that you can go without technically and not call it something good for you, right? There are good qualities, like it can actually kill bacteria that are bad, but it also kills good bacteria. That's one of the studies we were watching. It's like it's one of those things that could be good for you, but of course, in too much it'd be too bad. So you end up killing some bad bacteria, but you also kill some good bacteria. That's why alcohol, like major alcohol consumption, leads to a lot of leaky gut situations. So that's one of them. Major alcohol or alcohol in general, it gives you empty calories that you can't go on. And it actually, which we kind of know this, it decreases your happiness and motivation versus increases it. So it like becomes this thing where you don't have to work at those kind of things, and that's may get you going in the wrong direction. And then clean. This is the other one I have that's pretty interesting because I always forget about this stuff. Clean your filters. So clean your AC filters, your air conditioner filters, those kind of things. Especially right now in Michigan, if you're around, this is that time of year that we're going to start seeing those different dips in temperature. Amy and I know if you're not from Michigan, dear Lord, it's been so weird.
Yeah.
One week it was complete fall. And then 2 weeks straight, it's been like fall in the morning, gets really cool at night, and then it will go up to like 88, which is crazy. It's really nice. I don't mind it, but it's good.
I like it. I
Yeah.
take advantage of every hot day we get.
Right. Exactly. So what I'm going to do right now is kind of walk through some cool indicators, like ways to tell. Dr. Mercola had an awesome, if you haven't ever subscribed to him, Dr. Mercola, I'll put it in the chat. He is a really, really good art place. I get a ton of info on just new articles that come out. And he's the guy I kind of go to, like as far as news and healthcare and in the holistic side of things. He was censored really, really badly years ago. So he actually has a Substack like we do. Because and it's a really nice. If you ever get into that Cola, find him. Usually on Substack's one of my favorite. I'm sure he has a website and all those kind of things as well. So just, he goes through some like fascinating. We're talking about feet and knees. We're gonna go through a couple things to show you like how strong are your feet, like strength and those kind of things. So where we're gonna go, let's go to so I'm gonna break down this article. So the first thing to check if your feet need some strengthening is we go into toe dexterity. Okay. So we want to lift our so I'm going to try to read this at the same time. This quote from this article. So you want to lift your big toe off the ground while keeping your other toes flat on the ground.
Wait, are you standing or sitting?
Sitting.
Okay.
So we can do it right now. You can do it as you're standing as well. But like I'm having trouble doing my big toe. But my other toes are fine doing it. Oh man, that's kind of crazy. Even lifting a little tiny amount with your big toe without independently of your other toes is sign for good. So your big toe, let's say it's this one. Try to lift it up without the other ones. Try to lift it up without the other ones. It's way harder. Oh man. And if you don't have it, like which I do not have it great, but I can do it. All you need is a little bit, and it shows you got decent, right? But if you can't do it at all, which is now that I do it, I hadn't done it till right now. But if you can't do it, then you got to work on that. Okay. So that's the first little test. Those toes are a big deal. Those toes are a big deal. We don't think about them as a big deal, but they are. They give you the finer motor movements down there and able to do a lot. So then we go on from dexterity, so toe dexterity, to toe strength. This one's kind of cool. You can do it in a clinic, but also you can use a credit card, put it in between your toes, and have somebody try to pull that credit card away. So you're taking that credit card, let's see if I got a blank one. So we take a credit card. Here's your big toe. Stick that thing in there and try to pull it away, right? So you want to get fancy, you can go all the way down to your feet, right? So have somebody or a loved one pull on that. Let's see if you can have enough strength to actually hold that credit card in. So that's kind of cool. So that's a really good way. If you can't do it, then we know we have to strengthen some feet. All right. And then the last one is kind of cool. It's going to be harder to do soon. Weight distribution. So this is one that I always think of because we have a little more pricey orthotic sometimes we'll use. And this is what we determine in pieces of foam. But you can see it at a beach or, a lot of different things. Hi, Josie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
It's just us. It's fine.
She's saying good night.
All right. I know. I'm sorry.
She goes to bed before Sadie does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, one reason we got to do this at 8 because I don't think I have Amy at all. If I did the 9 o'clock thing,
I'd be goner.
That's the problem. But once it gets wintertime, it'll be much better. But yeah, so when you look at your foot distribution in the sand, like in the sand or outside like that, you should have kind of where you can see the whole foot and be level between all pieces. There should be kind of an evenness between the front of your foot and the back, the side of your foot and either side. You're going to see a lot of differences there, but a lot of times to really measure the strength, don't worry about, let's say you have flat feet. Don't worry about where the arch is. Where does the actual distribution? Do you come down in the middle basically of your foot? And do your toe, your toes spread, right? So if they're the kind of locked up in there, that's a sign that you're going to have problems later. Okay. So that's why barefoot stuff is so important. And we're going to go through, I figured out how to not get censored off of YouTube. So where we can do a little bit because we're just going to use short clips of videos that show kind of what we're talking about, as we go forward. So you got any questions on that, Amy?
No.
So I brought up those two things. One of the things I found in this article is that 36% of the adult population has foot problems. So that's a big thing. They've had foot problems before. Amy has had some we've had some great results with like plantar fasciitis. I want to go through a lot of those things, as we go, because chiropractic in general helps a ton of that. And if your feet, here's why I said feet and knees. Ready? Here's a secret. Feet are 95% of the knee problems. Okay. 95% of the knee problems. So it's a secret that no one's telling anybody. If your feet are strong, then your knees will take that. You got to start there. You can't do much else. That's why knee things kind of surprise you, right? So those are some major things that we got to look at as far as we go. I'm doing you'll rethrow. What tea are you doing? You doing anything? Chamomile. Nice. I want to start doing that at night. Just this is Ulrethro, which is an adaptogen, which is fantastic. So chamomile, Amy, you'll be ready for bed after this.
It's my favorite one.
You get enough chamomile in you, it's over. That's right. Yep. All right. So let's do. I think I got a screen share. Sorry, settings. Hang on. Present. Oh, there it is. Okay. Share screen. Sorry. Okay. Let's go to. All right, you there?
Yep.
You can see me. Let's go to. Okay. I like this one. Okay. So we're actually going to do this. So we're going to kind of show it, but we're going to walk through what I want to go through. Okay. So this video shows a lot of good ones. But what we want to do is really get into right about there. Okay. So we're going to stop it right here. So this is the biggest thing that we have to discuss. A lot of times people don't understand that we always look at the bones. These is the arches of your foot. You can see how many bones are actually in there. When we do that kind of thing, we always think the bones are the problem because you see it on an x-ray, right? So this person has a slight lower arch, in my opinion, as they're showing as a demonstration model. But if we go up just a little bit, right in here, they call it the rear foot, the midfoot, and the forefoot. So those are all wanting to be in this nice arch, right? The way you maintain that arch will always be the strength of that foot. So no matter what, it's the strength of the foot, the muscles of there, that we must get bigger, stronger. Probably the number one, what I'd say exercise thing should be your feet because of the amount of falling that could happen, the risks, the knee and the hip and all those things start adding up when we don't take care of the foot. Okay. So let's go into, so you kind of got that idea. So now we're going to go into the exercises they do. Okay. So let's go to here. Okay. So this one's a cool one. Now, that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's go back real quick. That was pretty fast. All right. I really like this one. Okay. So simply doing what you used to do as a kid, right? So simply trying to pick up stuff with your feet is huge. That one by itself could be masterful. So like as you go, watching this happen, keep doing that. Find a little ball, try to pick it up. So that's a really good one. All right. And then we're going to Oh, there's what we were talking about. So this is another good one. See how she's lifting? Man, she's good. She can pick up both and all. And that is fantastic. So I like these personally. In our 1% tribe type stuff. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I'm like flashing all over the place. Okay. I'll let it stop right there. Okay. So that type of exercise, oops. So that type of exercise is huge. If you just did those two in the morning, right? You had a little ball, you grab it, and I'm going to actually start now. Now that I see that one, just added to my daily routine. But I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to try to move those toes as much as you can to get good, like ambidextrous toes that you can utilize in there. Okay. All right. So let's go up to, let's see where we're at. This one's a longer video. I don't want to have to do too much. All right. We got up to there. Good. Yep, that's good. This one's kind of cool. I don't think we need to do this one. This would be a kind of a pain in the butt if you had to do it every day. However, that one could be an interesting one, especially if you're having different problems with like bunions and those kind of things. This could be really good if you could actually move them that way. Okay. So what she's talking about now is toe spread out. So like if, I wonder if you guys can see. Okay, so just spreading your toes, spreading those toes. A lot of times that might be the best bunion situation because there's not a lot you can do for a major bunion, but maybe you can get the motion in there really, really good. Okay. That's another good one. All right, we're going to skip to... Oh, okay. So I like this one as well. So this is another great exercise where you're bringing that arch in and trying to squeeze your foot. That one's fantastic. If you can't do that, sometimes the reason you can't do that is based on the amount of lack of motion in that foot. And then Amy knows, like all of it, once you get your when you get your chiropractic adjustment to your ankle or foot, it can be like this crazy game changer that it's just amazing. Like people don't understand how good it actually feels to have all those bones moving in the right direction. But it's also something that you can start doing these type of exercises and it'll really, really work. So there is that one. Now I'm going to go. Let's go to. We might come back and revisit this one. I'm going to go back in. Sorry, guys. My playlist. Okay, so. Oh, here's a real. Okay, so let's stop the share real quick. I'll do that. I apologize. Stop sharing, and then we'll talk for a minute. Okay. So as we go. Oh, hello, Brian. I can see the comments. It's so cool. Oh man, Brian, you win some kind of an award, baby. You're like my first one that we have done this correctly and got actual chats. If you have a question tonight, ask it as we go. So, Amy, do you have anything to add to that before I keep going?
I have a question. I know you didn't talk about plantar fasciitis a whole lot, but if, let's say, somebody comes to Myers Chiropractic and with plantar fasciitis, and we correct that issue, if they started doing these foot exercises after it's corrected, is there a better chance that it won't come back?
Big time, especially if you do it. So you got to think also in the world of 1%, right? So we got, these are stuff like this, hand exercises, feet exercise. These are all things we use on a daily basis. So we must do something to go on that daily basis, like more often, right?
Consistency.
Yeah, major consistency. You're going to use these every day. Once that plantar fascia once the plantar fascia gets rolling, it's really, really tough to reverse a lot of that stuff. And so a lot of times, once it's reversed, though, how do you maintain it? And the only way, especially in plantar fascia, is to strengthen and keep it strong. So the reason plantar fascia occurs is because we have this plopping motion. So if I can do it here, it's like heel, boom, front foot, heel, front foot, instead of this. So that's how we're supposed to move. It's like this nice, what it feels like on the beach when you're moving your foot. It's a much different flow, right, than when we were walking. And so a lot of times with that flow being off, and for us, it's biomechanics. That's why we get such good results, is because we adjust it first. Once we adjust the foot, then we go after the muscles like crazy. And once that occurs, the people like love it, and those kind of things. So, but Brian was asking, can this help neuropathy? It absolutely can. Anything neurologically, when you start to include those nerves, no matter what, your body is amazing. Like, it can take those nerves and it starts utilizing them more and more. Is it going to be the end all be all and what caused the nerves? No, right? You don't know that. But like the body, nature needs no help, just no interference. So what happens is the more you utilize that area, the more it's got to do some kind of adaptation, right? And so that's one of the things that can be a major awesomeness, as we go. Okay, so there's those two. Now I'm going to go. Let me look at the ones I want to. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple. So now, what I'd like to do before we go. Okay, so I got a couple like quick ones. So we'll do those. So we'll start with the ankle strengthening ones. So you saw the ones I really like, right? So anything with the toes. So boom, boom, trying to do boom, boom, right? Just that. Trying to play the piano with your toes. Try to increase, decrease, increase. Try to do that with your arch. That's the beginning. I always throw in there jump rope, right? I constantly love that. So jump rope gets you springy because your foot wants to be that spring just like a jump rope would. So it doesn't mean you have to be good at jump rope. Just remember as a kid, you had to do that, right? And once you get good, that's why those boxers are so good on their feet. They have super strong, they have super strong feet and their knees go forever. Like I think of George Foreman. George Foreman was a monster. He should have had terrible knees, all that stuff. He didn't, though. He could still move in like his 50s. He was doing that. Why? Because he was jump roping all the time. His feet were strong, right? And that's what we got to do. We got to remember also, our body is supposed to walk 10 miles a day. That's what we're designed for. And we can go up to that. Does anybody on the planet get that? Probably a male person. That's about it. That's all the only people I can think of that could probably get the full 10 miles. A lot of people get 4 or 5, and pretty good, but are they tired at the end of that 4 to 5, right? And that's why it's super important with these kind of things. So let's go into some good ones on top of this. Let's say you're going into the gym, you're doing a leg day. Why on earth would you not add some kind of foot thing, right? So We do legs, we do our quads, we do our hamstrings, calves on our leg day. Feeling good. Add one postural muscle to it. So that's what these are going to be. Okay. These are more, you may do it on if you're in your workout, maybe not every day, but knowing that these could be part of your exercise routine. Okay. So let's go to that. Yeah, this screen share is a little different. I like lose everybody in the okay. All right, let's go to this one. Okay. So oh, that's not the one. Dang it. All right. Disregard. That's later. We're not to these yet. Okay. Oh, it's this 22nd one. Okay. So ankle sprain exercises. Okay. So let's go back. Stop moving so fast. So this one's a good one. If you got these resistance bands, these are fantastic. And so a lot of times, are you guys seeing that? Or did I have it up? Share this tab. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this guy, what he's doing is this is what happens in ankle sprains. These are very common exercises. You stick a resistance band on there and you make a motion, right? So you're just back and forth motion into that. Okay. So he's just showing you that. The next one is a really good one. You just get deep into that. The motion of dorsiflexion is what they call it. So going deep over that, where that knee is way over the front of your toe, that can help a lot in just trying to stretch that foot out, because it's a lot of times where the cramping will happen too. So that's a good one. These are very simple. This is the one I want to show you. Okay. So this one's crazy hard, obviously, right? So if you're not here, obviously I'm not going to have you do this. Some people, we can't even, it's very difficult to just stand on one foot, necessarily do this, right? But the idea of that, so I don't promote this. Don't get on a bowl. Don't do that at home. I don't want any broken heads from doing this. But being just on your foot and almost with no shoe on, where you're just balancing on one leg, is huge. If I can just balance on one foot for 1 minute, my brain should say, you know what? My balance is pretty good. If I cannot balance for 1 minute, then I know I have to work on some things. Okay. And that goes for everything. So the average Americans probably 30 seconds. Okay. So if they start working at this, a minute isn't that bad. Okay. All right. So we'll go through. This one's really cool, but these are more intense ones. But the idea of one-legged things, so like one-legged exercises, is a really good idea, because if you ever get on a one-legged, let's say a one-legged squat or, those kind of things, those are huge, and you can actually feel your body really start playing around with that kind of thing. So just wanted to show you a couple ideas on more of the intense stuff that you can do. All right, let's go back. And now we're going to go to that in a minute. All right, we don't need to really go into okay. So let's stop the screen share for a second. And let's discuss the knee. Okay. So the knee tonight, we're going to thank you for that question, Brian. So one of the things I found in the studying was collagen's actually really good. So collagen supplementation can be fantastic for the feet, cartilage, ligaments, and all those things. Amy, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
When you do the muscles and the ligaments of the feet, do you find it more damage is there when you're trying to repair that damage? So like, I'll bring it up. So like Amy has a technique that she works on people, and she's actually working the scar tissue out of an area. Do you find that the feet are one of the worst spots for that, or does it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, what you mean when I do gua sha?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you do your gua sha technique, is it one of the ones that has a lot of scar tissue area? Okay.
Oh,
I would
definitely.
expect that, right? I would expect that. I've just never been brave enough to even think about gua sha except that one time. But
Well, when feet and calves, a lot of times I do both
oh yeah,
because calves that get tight.
right. And so Amy's learned over the time that mechanics go up towards the knee. And so a lot of times what we're finding, like, and she could tell you tomorrow, if you had plantar fascia, guarantee if you don't get that fixed, your knees are going next because it's all the same motion units, right? So a lot of times what'll happen is what'll happen is if the mechanics are off on your feet, it's crawling up to your knees. And so the knees are the next to go. And so the best thing to do is start from the base, get some good things going on those feet, and then we can slowly progress up to the knees. The knees can help us get really good mechanics in walking and all those kind of things. So very, very good outcomes on that, like as far as it goes for that. So I'm gonna put that in the comments, Brian, but collagen, and I'll give you a couple other good ones after this. For the neuropathy aspect of things, can be some good ones out there. I'll pull that up actually right now. So, Amy, you got any questions while I do this?
No, I don't think. Oh, if you're lifting weights, like at home, or I guess even in a gym, just in a safe place, do you feel like it's better or good for your feet to do it barefoot?
I do. The problem is lifting, with the weights. I've seen broken foots on 2.5 pounders. And so
Yeah.
that's one of the problems. I
Yeah.
love it though.
Mhm.
So I do it personally.
Yeah.
I can't recommend it because you'll break your foot with a
Right.
2.5 pound weight, and Sadie comes in and scares you, right?
Well,
So,
I do. I work out in my workout room. It's carpet, and so I typically, if it's just weights and no cardio, I typically do it barefoot. I feel more stable when I
yeah,
work like that.
it's crazy how fast it'll change, and that's one reason they have all those like barefoot shoes. That's why
Yeah.
I do it barefoot as well. One of the things that I don't mind it because I don't think the barefoot shoes are like protecting you from the same thing, right? It's your foot. If a thing's gonna drop on your foot, it's gonna drop on your foot.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a problem. So
If I was lifting like super heavy, like
yeah,
doing that kind of stuff, then I would wear shoes. But just for what the most I lift is like 20 pounds, so I'm not worried about dropping that.
exactly. All right, Brian, I'm gonna have to get back to you on. There's a lot of good specifics. There's so many we got to talk about. It just depends on neuropathy. It depends. So, foot problems and those kind of things. There's a lot of good arnicas, and I know that arnica is a really good herb that you can use for just so people think of arnica as like a cream because it comes in a cream. It's really an herb that's actually working the muscles of your foot. And so it's one of the only ones that come as that. You know what I mean? The other one that we found lucky, and Amy will tell you, is magnesium cream. A lot of the creams that you get in there start helping because of how far away your foot is from the rest of your body. So your body has to do a ton of work to get it down to everything down in your feet. So that'll be the last one that you'll actually see kind of going in that direction. So a lot of times I would say do some collagen, do some arnica, do some magnesium cream possibly, or magnesium supplement. Get up to that good level of magnesium. and you'll notice a massive difference. We've noticed so much difference in people that take the good therapeutic dose of magnesium has helped out muscle systems so much. So, and then it's no different in your feet. I almost see it like in the office. It feels like we've reversed like restless leg syndrome. I don't even hear about it anymore. You know, because once somebody starts magnesium or whatever, it literally changes it. You know, like, and that all started back when because you never know like what you have as far as, you know, those situations. Like, do you have enough magnesium? How do you know? Right? You gotta go via blood work and all that stuff. Well, then your muscle systems have an issue that way. So there's that. All right. So now this last one's gonna be just some leg, knee strengthening. And I really like this one because it kind of engages both the foot and the knee at the same time. So let me go into that one. Oh, that screen share. Where's my next? Okay. Okay. So this one. So if you watch this guy, again, they got to quit taking pictures of me while I'm doing things. No. All right about there, you see how his stance is, okay? So if you look at his stance, he's actually 1 foot behind the other, okay? So he's really doing a single leg squat, but he's engaging his feet really, really well, okay? So this is fantastic. This is a really good, basically, if you wanted to do some single leg squats, this is a really good way to do it. And engage your core, because everybody says single leg squats, and everybody looks at me like, you know, there's something wrong with me mentally because they don't know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so this is an easy way. You're doing it, but you're allowing yourself some stability off that back foot. Okay. So this is another angle I don't love. Okay, so I don't love going deep. I'm not a big fan. Some of these guys go way too deep. I like about 90 degrees, and that's all you got to do, right?
Yeah.
But that's me personally. I hate going less than that. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's just like an opinion, right? So we'll go through this guy, and then what he's explaining is like if all you do is squats all the time, and you don't change your positioning on your squat, a lot of times those muscles will get used to a certain pattern, and then it'll stay the same, and you don't know why that's occurring. So changing it up with that single leg, like that, what that guy was doing, helps a lot. Oh, this one I love. This one is so good, and you can do this on a step at your house. Because the step of your house has that rail, okay? So you can have something to hang on to as you're doing it. Obviously, in the athletic sense, they got a lot more equipment, and they don't have to hold on. But for my people that, you know, could never dream of doing this right now, your step of your house is pretty good to do that, okay? So you do this every day. Don't think you can't do it, because if you got stairs at your house, you're doing it, okay? We just have to do it as a very structured thing. And if you can look at this picture on this kid's foot, his knee, it's all lined up really, really well. And it does not have to be that big a step either. Okay. So you can see how he's stepped back just a little bit. I want to see if I have. But man, you do these kind where you're maybe not as deep as this guy's going, but just that motion. Think of how many motions there are that you do that, right? So it's constant. You do those motions every day. So why not get in that position, right? That like you're gonna run a race against your kid and then squat, kind of dedicating that to that front leg, and you'll notice a huge difference in that. So But the biggest thing is like what you said, if we engage our feet into our workout, which squats really don't, right? Leg extension, leg curls, well, probably squats do, but you got to be pretty good. Leg extension, leg curl. A lot of our leg movements, like a few of my machines I have, don't actually engage those feet into the movements. They're good, but we just want to make sure you're doing that as you go forward. All right. So let me look if there's any other ones I want to do. I think I'm actually pretty good. Oh, so this is the final part I wanted to show. These are really hard to find, actually. So the other thing, so Amy and I, we work on this plantar fascia. All our chiropractors do. Dr. Matt, all of them. But one of the coolest things that we offered. Now, I wanted to talk about this tonight because, dang, for kids, I had to run this last 2 weeks of crazy good results with kids on this. So we have added a cold laser. It's called a low-level laser. And this low-level laser looks very simple, but what it's doing is actually increasing the healing capacity around a certain joint. And so when that healing capacity comes around that joint, you see some amazing stuff. Now, the reason I bring it up is a lot of times in my adults, it takes a few visits. And once they do that, it's like incredible. They love it, right? But kids, it's nuts. I've had three that I would say, okay, it's going to take us a couple weeks. I'm going to have to take you out of your sport possibly for this knee injury. I'll give you an example. I had a little volleyball kid. She's like 14, something like that. Had a pretty good knee injury, but she's in the middle of a season where they are not stopping. It's like every day something. One Saturday, they played volleyball for 10 hours, right? So in that situation, we always say, it's going to be a tough one. We'll do what we can. So let me show you kind of what this laser looks like in here. Okay. So this is, I get all excited. Let's see if I can stop it. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay. So these are very quick clips. But this is what it looks like. And so there is like a bunch of really good energy going into that ankle. We have this very similar one. It's the same one, basically. And then there's another one that we're going to show you. You put it right on the location, and the healing that happens around there. Like this little girl was like, no pain after like 1 or 2 times, right? Now there's still some things you got to work on, obviously. It's gone. The condition, like you guys know, mechanically we got some stuff. But the knee pain as itself healed up very, very quickly. That's what is one of my favorite things. Let's see if I can sneak in there. This is the other one. This is the other laser. It looks just like that. It's got this green. So we have green and red, right? It is awesome. This girl is doing a balance with the green laser aimed right at it. Oh, and then now a roofing company. Okay. So there is kind of a treatment you can do, but what it's doing is increasing the cellular activity in the mitochondria. Okay. So that's basically what happens is it tells that body, let's heal this up quick. Let's get it going, and those kind of things. But the results we're having with kids is like absolutely insane. I think that's the last one. Oh, this one's pretty cool. This one's a testimonial. I don't know if I'll play. Anyway, so this is kind of what it looks like.
Just couldn't get that pain to go away. So a friend had told me that Align Integrated Medical had some new lasers and that they might help. So after one,
that's basically what ours kind of looks like right there. That'll be looking like the treatment.
My feet had this like warm, tingling feeling, and it just felt really comfortable and relaxed. And after 3 treatments, I just forgot about the pain. It went away, and I forgot I even had it. So I was just living and doing normally everything I usually do without waking up with pain. Not waking up with pain is the best feeling. So
Love that.
I am just way more optimistic about the future now. My name is Alicia Mielstein. I am a inventory manager with the organizing company, and I also organize all day long on my feet for that company. And I am super excited that I am now in no pain thanks to the Ergonomia laser and my integrated medical.
Awesome. So yeah, so that is okay. Oh, so we're gonna stop sharing. So that is very, very cool stuff. Like as we go forward, it is like one of our favorite add-ons to what we do because our treatments are good. We have like we have a lot of good confidence in helping that situation, but the adding on this Erconia, we see a lot of really good results with that. All right. Amy, you got any questions?
Nope.
All right. Anybody on the chat have any? Because this is really cool. I got like 4 things on the chat. This is so cool. I know. Well, I feel like we covered it pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Strength of foot. I think strength of foot is a big deal. If you start working at it, you can make a big difference. It can make a big difference in your athlete too. So don't forget that. We kids, when they get into certain things, it can be insanely tough. Like they get fatigued as well. The amount of times the kid now is doing a weight training class plus practice after school plus not eating properly. There's so many sets up for failures, and those failure points can lead to bad mechanics, and then later it can be really, really tough. So, but that is all we have for tonight. What? Sadie?
Yep, she's still up.
Sadie, what are you supposed to be in bed?
No.
Not? Oh, okay. All right. You know what I gotta do? I gotta go get chicken. I gotta make sure all the chickens got in.
It's been dark for a while.
Yeah, last night so we got one of those doors that like automatically shuts, which is really cool. 2 of them, I go out there and they're like, "Oops, we played around too much in the yard." They're like, "Oh God, what do I do?" So the first time I'm like, "All right, chickens, let's set you slowly into the." But we're getting like 5, 6 eggs a day.
That's good.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
awesome. I know it is. So, all right, my dear. Well, you guys have a good night.
You too. See you tomorrow.
Hopefully this was helpful. Have a good one. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.